The hardest hitters in the Octagon. A look at the UFC's knockout kings. The UFC is synonymous with thunderous strikes and highlight reel knockouts. Fans flock to see these warriors collide, and some fighters have built their careers on leaving opponents flat on the canvas. Today, we celebrate the knockout kings, the KO artists, who've cemented their legacies with devastating power. 1. Derrick Lewis. Derrick Lewis reigns supreme as the UFC's knockout king. Nicknamed the Black Beast, Lewis holds the record for most knockouts in UFC history, a testament to his fearsome punching power. Despite recent losses, Lewis's career highlights the threat he poses in any fight. His come-from-behind victories against Curtis Blades and Alexander Volkov showcased his ability to absorb punishment and unleash sudden, fight-ending blows. Lewis's heavy hands are a true equalizer in the heavyweight division, and he's likely to add to his knockout tally before hanging up his gloves. 2. Matt Brown, the Immortal Punisher. We witnessed a record tie as Matt Brown secured his 13th knockout in the Octagon, drawing level with Lewis. Brown's consistency as a knockout artist is surprising, considering his peak championship contention occurred in 2014. Earning the nickname the Immortal for his relentless aggression, Brown has delivered knockouts throughout his career, from his debut in 2008 to his recent finish of Brian Barberina. Though his victims may not be household names, his sheer violence and knockout power are undeniable. Fights like those against Diego Sanchez, Mike Swick, and Eric Silva stand out for their brutality. Even his later finish of Diego Lima showcased his raw power. Brown may not find himself in the Hall of Fame, but his knockout artistry is legendary. 3. Vitor Belfort, the Phenom with staying power. Vitor Belfort, the Phenom, boasts an impressive record for knockout longevity. His first UFC knockout came in 1997 against T.R.A. Teligman, and his last against Dan Henderson in 2015, nearly 2 decades later. Early in his UFC career, Belfort's rapid-fire punches were unmatched, putting away opponents like Tank Abbott and Wanderlei Silva. Though his aura of invincibility faded with losses, he remained a dangerous threat throughout his career. Notably, his kicks became just as deadly as his hands. Later, fights saw him take out foes with devastating head kicks, including Michael Bisping and Luke Rockhold. Time eventually caught up to the Phenom, but his 12 knockouts solidify his place as a legendary striker. 4. Anderson Silva, the knockout artist as artist. While not holding the record for most knockouts, Anderson Silva, the former middleweight champion, stands out for his ability to transform knockouts into works of art. At his peak, the Spider seemed to operate on a different level than his opponents, drawing comparisons to the Matrix movies. Almost every knockout Silva scored was legendary, from his debut finish of Chris Lieben, where he landed every strike thrown, to his unbelievable front kick knockout of Vitor Belfort in 2011. His most impressive feat might be his stoppage of Forrest Griffin in 2009. Silva made Griffin, a former light heavyweight champion, look amateurish before dispatching him with a punch reminiscent of Muhammad Ali. Silva's prime showcased knockout artistry that may never be replicated, and his accomplishments remain remarkable. 5. Anthony Johnson, Rumble in the Octagon. Few fighters in UFC history possessed the raw punching power of Anthony "Rumble" Johnson. Whether fighting at 170 pounds or 205 pounds, Rumble had the ability to put opponents out in devastating fashion, often with punches that seemed innocuous at first glance. Johnson burst onto the scene in 2007, knocking out Tommy Spear in his Octagon debut. While some losses highlighted his limitations, his knockout victories over Yoshiyuki Yoshida and Kevin Burns showcased his terrifying power when he landed clean. His second stint with the promotion as a light heavyweight truly displayed his knockout potential. He took out fighters like Glover Teixeira, Ryan Bader, and Alexander Gustafsson in ways that left viewers stunned. At times, it seemed a single touch could dispatch his foes. Despite his power, Johnson couldn't capture UFC gold, falling short in 2 championship fights. Tragically passing away in 2022, Rumble is still remembered as one of MMA's biggest power hitters. 6. Thiago Santos, Marreta's devastating strikes. Thiago Santos, often overlooked during his UFC career, surprisingly delivered a total of 11 knockouts in the Octagon. Nicknamed Marreta, meaning sledgehammer, Santos was a devastating striker at his peak, capable of destroying opponents with kicks or punches. His killer instinct was among the best in the promotion. After an unsuccessful showing on TUF Brazil. 7. Chuck Liddell, the king of knockouts. Chuck Liddell is a legend in the UFC's light heavyweight division, holding holding the record for most knockouts. Throughout his career, 1999 to 2010, he was feared for his powerful punches, especially his right and left hook. What truly sets Liddell apart is the caliber of fighters he defeated. He knocked out former champions and tough competitors, showcasing his dominance in the division. Liddell's career embodies the risk-reward nature of MMA. He retired after a string of knockout losses, but his legacy as a knockout artist remains unmatched.